Have either of you done a full restorative practice before? It's basically a guided nap. We are not doing heavy, intense yoga tonight. We are doing restorative yoga tonight. And what I would really love for you is to feel fully supported in everything you're doing. So, if you have a pillow or 3 pillows, whatever's on your couch, whatever's on your bed, send the kindergartner to go bring you all the pillows and have them handy. I also have a blanket here, and this is going to be handy for placing in between knees when we lay on our sides, or rolling under the hips or neck. And I prefer a firmer blanket, but anything that works for you is good too. When I first started doing yoga, restorative was the hardest kind of yoga for me to do. And now it informs all of the practices I teach. So we're going to start in a restorative posture. That might be seated for you, or you can come right down to the ground. If you lay down, feel free to keep your knees bent. You can roll something underneath them and then lay back. I'll stay seated upright. I'm going to move my camera back just a little bit further if I can. All right. And Thursday was the solstice, and that means, thank goodness, that we are headed into longer days, more daylight. For me and my mental health, that's important. What I would love for you to do is take a little time at the beginning of this practice with a guided meditation that I'll share with you to release what's no longer serving you. So take stock of where you're at and let go. I did not write this script, but I have permission to use it. It's by Amelia Andaleon at Spiritually Fit Yoga. So make yourself comfortable, take a seat or lay down, and make the room as dark and quiet as possible. We'll be intentional with taking this time and creating space with the purpose and loving kindness as an important step in signaling to both your body and your brain that you are ready to meditate and receive the benefits of this practice of self-care. Take 5 slow, deep breaths and observe how you are experiencing each inhale and exhale. Open your eyes and notice the darkness and light in your room. Notice the contrast between bright and dim. Observe without criticism or judgment. If it's comfortable for you, close your eyes and notice the bright and dim spots with your eyes closed. Observe with curiosity, no criticism, no judgment. Breathe. We're past the solstice, the shortest day of the year, but still, even this early in the evening, it's dark out. Observe your thoughts about this time of year, noticing as a way to check in with yourself. No criticism, no judgment. Breathe. Shift your focus within to notice what sensations and thoughts are present in this moment. Shift away from bright, shiny objects, away from external distractions or influences. Move toward the darkness to allow the time to see yourself. Notice yourself. And allow this opportunity to listen to the whispers and messages arising in this space. Breathe. Ask yourself, what do you want me to pay attention to right now? Listen. Breathe. Take 5 slow, deep breaths. Scan the body. Do you notice any tension in the body? If you notice any tension, send your attention and breath to that body part and tell yourself, it's okay to relax. I give you permission to let go. Take your time. Relax the whole body. Observe and notice. How do you feel? What is present in this moment? Ask yourself, is there a pattern or a habit or a cause of suffering I am ready to let go of right now? Listen, breathe. We'll each create our own affirmation. And in this affirmation, you'll name something you decide to let go of, whether that be self-criticism, resentment, striving. Create your affirmation. I let go of. And we'll repeat this silently 3 times in our own hearts and minds. I let go of. I let go of. I let go of. Breathe deep. Observe and notice this experience of letting go. I release what no longer serves me. I release it into the darkness of this winter night. I create space for ease and welcome freedom from suffering. I wish for you to integrate that freedom and ease into your body, your mind, and your life. If you like, you can place your hand on your heart and take 5 deep, slow breaths. And press love, warmth, and compassion into your whole being. Acknowledge and thank yourself for this time and space to release what no longer serves you. And we'll take 5 more deep breaths right here. Start to move gently through the fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Maybe stretch overhead, full body stretch, fingertips to tiptoes. Roll over onto one side and gently push up into a seat, leaving the lights however you like. We'll hold our restorative poses for maybe longer than you expect, a few minutes each side, but before we get there, we will do a little gentle movement to warm the neck and the spine. So sitting up nice and tall, shoulders over hips, relaxing the hands down onto the knees. We'll take an inhale as we tilt the heart up to the sky, arching through the back, our seated cow posture. And then as we exhale, chin to chest around the spine, press back through the shoulders for our seated cat. And here you're welcome to move with your own breath. Inhale up and in. Exhale down, around, and back. Moving with your own breath, exaggerating the movement. Excuse me. Coming back to center, we'll take both arms up to the sky. And then take one arm down to the side, stretch the other arm up and over. Both hips stay down. Your gaze goes where it feels good. So maybe you're looking down or maybe you're looking up. Inhale back to center. Exhale up and over to the other side, lengthening through both sides. Inhale back to the center. Once more to each side. I normally say this at the beginning of every practice, but it is your practice, not mine. So feel free to change up, modify, amplify, whatever makes sense for your body, whatever feels right. We'll come back up. Maybe you take your hands behind your head and we're just going to twist over to one side, keeping our hips nice and still, feeling the stretch through the shoulders, mid, back, and spine. Inhale, center, and exhale to the other side. Inhale, center. One more time, gaze up like our seated cow. And exhale, around the spine, tuck your chin to your chest for a nice little cat posture. We'll inhale back up and release. And we'll move to a supported child's restorative pose. So when we do our child's pose, typically we have our knees either together or wide to the edges of the mat, big toes together, hips to heels, arms draw forward, forehead down. Lots and lots of ways to support yourself here. What I encourage you to do is build the ground up to where you feel good. So one way for me to get started with that, and it's going to be different for each of us, it's something to explore and listen to your own body. I like a blanket between my hips and my heels, and then I'll take my bolster or pillow right underneath my torso, pop off my glasses, and draw cheek or forehead down. I hope you guys can hear the train. I'm in rural Nebraska, so there's train tracks right behind me. And we'll take our time here. Take the time also to notice where you're still clinging to effort. Can you relax through the hips? Through the heart? And we'll move from our restorative child's pose to a hero posture. So this could be very intense, but we're trying to make it something that feels good. So a typical hero's pose would be stretching back, hips between the heels, knees together, heels wide. That's not what we're going for today. Lots of ways to support yourself in this. You could have a pillow or bolster above your legs if that's comfortable. Or sometimes people like to place a bolster between the shins and sit back that way. Don't worry if your knees lay wide, you're fine here. You could also, depending on what you have available to you in the area you're practicing, but you could lean back, maybe on a chair, or if you are on your bed, and just lay down. For me, I'll stay upright. The goal here is simply to breathe. And if it's too uncomfortable in your knees, you're always welcome to come to a seated posture. Opportunity here to feel your ribs expand as you inhale. Belly fills with air. We'll move to perhaps our most active posture of the day. I was debating whether or not this could even be considered restorative. But what we'll do is we'll come forward to all fours and grab one of your cushions or pillows if you have one. And here we're actually going to come to a down dog. I'm building a platform to rest my head on. So we'll take the hands in front of this platform, middle fingers or pointer fingers pointing straight ahead, thumbs splayed wide but relaxed, reaching forward into the knuckles and fingertips, tucking the toes and keeping the knees bent, stretching back and just relaxing the forehead down onto your cushion or pillow. Don't worry, we won't hold this for 3 to 5 minutes, I promise. Drop those knees back to the ground, and we'll swing those legs around. I like to joke that one of the reasons we actually hold the posture so long in restorative yoga is because it takes so long to set up all your props. We'll do a wide-legged seated forward fold. So here I'm taking my props, my pillows, my blankets in between the legs. You could do a seated forward fold with your props right on your legs. So either option available to you here, whatever feels good. I'm going to start with this seated forward fold. And you can stack everything to support you. Focus less on what would look perfect on Pinterest and more about what feels good in your body today, what you can hold with a sense of ease. So think about it, and then as we exhale, draping the torso softly over whatever's holding you up. And I would encourage you to get as many supports as you need to build the earth up to hold you. You carry around so much weight with you throughout the day, all the things that you carry to make the lives of those you love around you function. But the earth can hold you up. So let it. If you can relax or soften into the shape your body is holding anymore, allow yourself to do so. If you're very, very happy here, please stay here. Otherwise, we're going to move to whichever seated forward fold variation you're not in. So I am in a traditional seated forward fold with my legs together. I'm going to move to a wide-legged seated forward fold, and you may be doing the same or the opposite. So for me, it just means moving my supports between my legs instead of on top of my legs. If I was practicing at home, I'd probably have 2 or 3 bolsters here with me. Inhale, we'll come to a sit. So nice and slowly move up and out of that posture. We'll keep our supports handy because we're going to come down into a supported twist. The way we build up for this shape is if you're on a mat, we'll be sideways on the mat with our pillows, our blankets, our bolsters. reaching out to the side. We're going to stack our legs on top of each other as much as it's comfortable. You may opt to place a blanket between your top and your bottom leg to soften the connection between the knees. And then whatever you're leaning up against, whether it's a bolster, you could even do a chair or your sofa or your footstool. I have a bolster here. You're gonna have your hip all the way up against that support. And then gently, we're gonna slide the torso out, extend over that support. So you've got a side stretch up the side of the body that's lengthening out over your pillows or over your chair. You get to choose what to do with that free arm. Maybe it feels good to go up and over. Maybe it feels better to go forward. Or perhaps you're down at the side. Either way, whatever feels good for you. And if there's any spot of connection that feels not good, build in support to take away that discomfort. This here is just our side stretch. You can keep it right here, or you can move it into a twist. So for a twist, what we'll do is we'll lift the heart, and we're going to take our torso so that it's facing more down, flat towards your pillow, your bolster, your blankets. And then when you're comfortable here, you're going to drape the front side of your body down over your bolster or your pillows. And then you decide what's comfortable to do with your face. So you could come forehead down. You could stay with your gaze facing forward, or you could twist to gaze the opposite direction of your legs. You decide what works for you, and where you go will intensify your stretch. So find a spot that feels sustainable and ease-filled. Gently, softly unwind from this twist, which is more work than maybe we anticipated. We're going to switch around to the other side. So you can choose just to face the opposite direction. I'll move my props just because it's handy for the camera. Yay, modern life. We're going to switch it out to the other side, and we'll start with that side stretch. So making sure our knees and legs are comfortable. The supports we're using are all the way up against the hip. When you're ready and feeling supported, lengthen and drape that other side out over your supports, stretching along through that side body. Let the earth hold you up. Be held. To your deep spine twist, supported spine twist. Perhaps taking your arms on each side of your supports here, twisting lower into the spine between your ribs and your hips, and then draping torso forward out over the support. And you choose gazing over the shoulder, resting your forehead down, or gazing to the front of the room. Perhaps you frame your arms down around your supports to help lift you here. We come back to the breath. What my body needs. I want you to feel free to stay in that shape for as long as you like. If you'd like to move along with me, we can unwind. We're going to leave that support there, and we're going to bring our backs to it. So here we're going to come to a reclined bound angle. We can start with bound angle. We're going to take the soles of the feet together, sitting up nice and tall. So this is a pretty intense stretch in and of itself. I hope you don't feel any strain or tension in the knees. We don't need the knees to go down. We want the stretch to be in the groin and in the hips. And one way to alleviate any strain in the knees would be to move those legs farther out or closer together, depending on your body today. You could also prop throw pillows or blocks underneath your knees to help support the lift there. If you feel good here, you're welcome to stay right here. If you want a little stretch forward before we go backwards, you sure can do that. Otherwise, we're going to take this to a reclined goddess or a reclined bound angle. So take your time to walk your torso back, drape that upper body over your pillows, as many as you want or need. And again, you choose what to do with your arms. Maybe they're down by your sides or in a low V, straight out to a T or up in goalposts. And if you find that reclining makes the stretch too intense in the groin or the hips, again, feel free to adjust the legs to where you feel supported and comfortable. Find your sense of ease where you can hold and breathe. We'll take several breaths here. If there's anywhere you're holding tension, feel free to release it. Can you soften your jaw? Unfurl your brow. If you're happy right here, you can stay right here. Otherwise, we'll move to a supported bridge, and this will take some wiggling. So don't worry about looking awkward. We will all look awkward together. I like to do this with a block. Today we're going to do it with pillows or blankets underneath our hips. So coming all the way down onto your back side, moving that pillow out of the way that you were just laying on. And then here it's like our bridge pose. So feet flat to the ground. We're going to tuck the shoulders under to create a platform for the body weight. Let that soft C curve remain in the neck, but let the weight of the head relax down onto the mat. And then here we're going to lift those hips up to the sky. But rather than support this deep core strengthening work, what we'll do is let this be a supported inversion today. So we're going to drag something comfy under our hips and let our hips relax down. And feel free to adjust how you desire. Make your blocks and blankets work for you. And then let those hips be heavy. And find your supported bridge. And this is an inversion, just like a handstand would be. It helps us feel that circulation. If you feel your chest coming toward your chin, that's a-okay. You can lift the heart, but then we'll also lift the chin up toward the sky. And again, relax the head down onto the mat. Gaze stays right up at the sky. And we breathe. Your body may find this deeply energizing, or it may be a lot of work. So no criticism, just noticing. And we'll move into our most important posture of the evening, our final relaxation, our Shavasana. So gently lift the hips to move whatever is holding you up out of the way. I'm going to take my support actually under my knees. So as I lie down in corpse pose, I won't be flat on the ground. I'll have a bolster under my knees and a blanket underneath my shoulders with an extra roll for underneath my neck. So you are welcome to move until you find your spot. I'm actually going to turn my light down here as well. So plenty of time to make the adjustments that'll help you get to your restorative place. No rights or wrongs or rules. Time and space to let everything go. Unfurl your brow. Relax your cheekbones. Let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. If you're holding on in your hips, let go. If you're holding on in your fists, relax. Breathe in, belly expands. Exhale, bottom of the breath. We'll finish right here today, so don't move. Take a couple more deep breaths here, and I'm going to reread to you the very end of the meditation that we started with. Release it into the darkness of this winter solstice. I create space for ease and for well-being, and welcome freedom from suffering. Receive this time to be with your experience as it is, allowing whatever feelings or thoughts to arise, and to integrate freedom and ease into your body, mind, and life. Place your hands on your heart and take 5 slow, deep breaths. Press love, warmth, and compassion into your whole being. Acknowledge and thank yourself for this time and space to release what no longer serves you. The light in me honors and sees the light in you. Namaste.